Hello everybody, I'm Women International Master Rucha Pujari. Welcome to live stream. And today we will be discussing chess puzzles and having fun with chess and chatting with you all. Hello, nice to meet you everybody. Welcome. And today we are going to do some puzzle rush. So we are on chess.com and we will try Puzzle Rush survival mode. And I will be discussing with you puzzles, and you can even suggest me the most, and we can try to solve and make a good score. So let's get started. Puzzle Rush survival mode and click on play. So I can see you all are joining right now. Can you please confirm that everything is all right? Because this is my first time I'm streaming. So just confirm me that all is okay. So I think that for me, the first 25-30 puzzles are easy, and then starts the difficult ones. So in the first puzzles, we need to find mate or a simple tactics. So when we start learning chess, we learn about this tactics like pin, knight fork, double attack, discover attack, back rank. Okay, thank you. Good to know all is okay. Okay, Harry, you say video lags. Or looks fine. I hope not bad for a first time. We can work upon it as we go along. Hello, Kuldeep Singh. Greetings to you. I don't speak that. I am from Maharashtra, so I speak Marathi at my home. Oh, okay. Let's begin from the start. Rush. Hello, Jay. So we are solving puzzles on chess.com. So in survival mode, I think my highest score is like 87, but it took me quite a long time to do that. Maybe you all can help me today and make a good score. So here thinking about knight g7, then bishop g7, queen g7, and then double attack on rook and knight. Yes. Is this piece just under attack? So we take it. And now the queen is under attack, so queen h5 and threat on mate queen h2. Okay. Oh, we put a survival mode instead of puzzle rush. That's bad. Sorry, I need to quit and make it again. Survival mode. I did not realize it is rush. Okay, survival. I just quit it because I did not realize it is this. c6 and rook c8. I hope this time I choose survival. Let me check. Yes. Make videos in Marathi or Hindi. Maybe. Let's see how this one goes first. Okay, now let's see. Let's start discussing. I'm thinking rook c2. What happens for rook c2? We will just move the king to f1. What else do we have here? And then rook a8. So I'm thinking rook c2 followed by rook a8. And then idea is to play rook a1, but is it enough? I don't see anything else, so let's go for it. Maybe he will play queen e1, but then knight d3. And okay, so h7, king h8. So we have to play queen g5, king h8, queen f6, king g8, and then h7. And h7. Okay. It's funny, somebody's sending me a challenge on Chess.com. Please don't do it. I'm here on stream with you, so I'm not accepting game requests right now. So bishop e7, queen e7, and then what? Rook d7, queen e8. What next? Do you see anything else than this? Bishop e7, queen e7, rook d7. It's just queen moves. Oh, and then bishop f7 maybe. We are thinking, oh, just bishop e7 and bishop f7 and take the rook. Yes. Yes, bishop e7 followed by bishop f7. Now we just take the rook on d1 and take this rook. Let's go for it. Yes, if I get an invitation to be on Samai's channel, I would be very honored, of course. Now thinking about rook e2. And the idea is that we attack h2 and queen h2 is the threat. And white cannot give me any checks because this d8 square is controlled by the bishop, and also, but queen d6 is queen d6, queen d6, rook d6, and then bishop e5, rook d8, but that does not look okay. So we will not go for this. We play rook d8. So there is no mate. Okay. So these puzzles we need to think, because sometimes there can be more the other moves also, but we need to find the best one, which is very effective. Now here, e6, fe6. And then knight e5. So I'm thinking e6, fe6, knight e5 check. Now king moves to e8. Then rook c8, bishop c8, and queen c8. Queen c8, and e8. Okay, now here we need to think bishop c5, knight c5, and queen c5. Not first move queen a5, because there is a good move b4, and the queen is under attack, and if we take the knight, he takes the bishop. And it's not clear, so we first take the bishop, queen a5, and now knight. What is this? Some queen a check is coming, queen e8, and then bishop d6. I think that's enough, because if king moves to g8, queen e8, rook e8, and rook e8. Bishop to d6, queen e8. Here I'm thinking rook b1, king h2, e3, fe3, and f2. Rook endgames can be tricky, but in this particular position there is this idea which we have to use, because direct f3 is not enough. fe3, and if we give rook b1 check, then king f2. So first rook b1 and what is happening if rook g7, rook g7, king g7. This pawn is going there, and it's gonna be not a draw because king f4 and a4. Yes. This check is first thing I see. So queen c3. There is rook f6 and queen f6. Rook f6, I like to play rook d6 because the spin is quite dangerous. What about queen f6? Then rook d7 check. and then this pawn is quite weak. Is that a convincing solution though? Queen c3. Because he cannot go to h file, rook h8 is mate. So queen c3, queen f6, rook d7. Let's say he plays king g8. Shall we exchange the queens and take on b7? Yes, I think let's go for it. Exchange the queens, right? Yes, and take the b7 pawn. And we reach into an winning rook endgame because we have a very strong pawn on b6, which is a connected passive pawn. That's a big advantage. So knight is attacking two things, the rook and the g2 pawn. If knight g2, then rook g2. And this queen is also defending on g2. So I'm thinking, well, what if just take the rook on d1? What if knight d1, rook d1, and then I can play queen g2, bishop g2, king g2, take this. Yes, knight d1 and queen g2 and take on g7. Bishop g2 and this. Yes. So next one, last move was bishop c6. So pay attention to the last move played because sometimes there can be a hint in this last move. Knight f6, queen e5, knight h7 check. The knight is defended by the bishop. Then I think best would be to play king g8. Then rook captures the queen, rook d3, cd3 and take on h7. But we are an exchange up and that endgame would be winning. So knight f6, knight h7, okay, rook e5. Now this has to be some kind of mate. So rook a1, idea is to play rook a5. The king cannot escape, he cannot take control of the a file. And I don't see a defense after rook a1. So if rook d4, it's just a free rook. So we go rook a1. It's a free rook, we take it, and it's a win. Now we have to think which discovered check to give. Knight e6, double check, king h6, queen g7, king h5, and bishop d1, I think. So first move, knight e6, king h6, queen g7 check, king h5. This nice check on bishop on d1. And it would be checkmate because if knight g4, it's too many arrows, but okay. Bishop g4, queen g4, and queen h7 will be checkmate. So knight e6, queen g7, bishop d1, bishop takes knight, and queen f7. Yes, go for it. This is the first move I'm thinking, queen capture b6 followed by c7 because he cannot defend with the knights, so has to give up the rook, rook a8 or rook c7, and it's a winning position because we have two strong rooks and his king is quite weak. So queen b6, c7, rook c7. Okay, 37. What's happening here? So we have a choice to take the rooks. Of course, we want to take this. queen f1 and bishop b5. This is very easy for number 38. What happens if ef, ef, then gf, and queen g4. Wow, this move is very nice. Look at this move. So since the pawn is pinned, we play queen g4, and idea is bishop f3 check, which cannot be defended. Yes, and if first move ef3, he plays bishop f4, we go this check and wins. So let's go queen g4, and now bishop f3, f3, and king g1. We also get the bishop on f4. So what is this? If knight f2, rook f2, queen e8, we can go back, rook f8. But look at this move, rook f3, queen f3, queen d5. What do you think about this line? Rook f3, queen d5. Idea is that we want to give knight f2. Yes, this is more nice, isn't it? Because in knight f2, it's not convincing. This looks more beautiful. Rook f3, queen d5. The queen is pinned, that's why there is no back rank on us, and knight f2 is the threat. So rook f3, queen d5, it's knight f2. We have reached 40. Now the queen and the bishop are attacked. Rook f7. What happens? Now we need to check knight c2 and also rook f7. So rook f7, knight takes c2. Oh, it's just mate in one, rook f8. What I'm thinking. It's just mate in one, rook f8. So black has to play rook capture f7. And now what to do? Again rook f7, and if knight c2, then rook d7 check, and we take this rook. Next, please. If we play here king h4, he will give this check, and we have to go back again to h5. What about h2 check first, clearing up this square, and then king h4. So let's say h2, king h1, king h4. If rook g4, then king h3. And here is no ideas of stalemate by giving up the rook, because we have this pawn on f3. So h2, king h1, king h4. If he plays rook g2, then we just capture the rook, king g2, and h1 queen, king h1 and king g3, and a winning pawn endgame. Yes, Rakesh, as we said, h2 and king h2 takes, and h1 queen. So what was the last move? He takes the pawn on h6. What if queen g5? Now we need to understand if it is queen g5 or queen g3 check, because two checks are possible. Or like this, bishop f7 and discovered check, a discovered attack on this rook. So bishop f7, king g7, he can support the rook, and then queen g5. Yes, bishop f7, king g7, queen g5, rook g6, and then bishop takes g6. Let me see the material first. We are a piece down. So we have to go for it, right? Bishop f7, king f7. Bishop f7, king g7, and queen g5, king h7, then rook h6. It's quite strong. And now it's bishop g6. Takes. And then we have very huge attack, queen e7 also. Alright, good solving. We are a piece down. This looks quite tricky. Do you have any ideas? Bishop f8, okay. Queen f8, done. Rakesh suggested bishop f8. So bishop f8 is not good because knight g6 followed by queen h8 checkmate. So bishop f8, queen f8. I was thinking here move like knight h6. The idea is that put some pressure here, but not sure about it. Because even after we get knight f7, bishop f7, knight f7, king g8, I don't see much after that. Hello, chess aficionado. We are solving here Puzzle Rush Survival. And we have reached number 43. And we need some help because this looks a very difficult position. Hello, Bharat. You are suggesting bishop d4. Okay, what is the idea? I think you want to play knight f7 and bishop g7. Bishop d4, what about black plays f6? Need to be very careful because we are already a piece down in this position, and if we don't have something more, then it is not convincing. Also, black can take this piece right now. Bishop takes g4. Queen b4, I'm not sure because bishop g4. And this knight is attacked and we are under queen. Any ideas? I don't see any ideas, unfortunately, because knight at 6 is not enough. You can just even take this bishop, queen e5. No, you cannot take this bishop, of course. Knight at 6, I don't see idea. Knight takes f7, knight f7, king g8. But what after that? Knight f7 was suggested before, but what after knight takes f7? Bishop takes f7? Hello, brilliant at chess. So we are stuck really on this 43rd number. Let me concentrate. We need to find some ideas first. Because I hate it when we make an error. We have to... What is the idea? If I just take this, remember that you cannot move this knight, because if queen f2, your knight is pinned. Oh wow, that's a nice answer. Yes, Harry, you're right. Look at this, people. Knight f7 and queen g7. We all missed this move. King g7 and bishop d4, king g8, knight h6 mate. Wow, this is so cool. This is mate, right? This is mate. This is mate. Let's go. Well done, Harry. That was really nice position. I did not say that. Now here, queen f6. What is happening? There are moves like knight e8 or even rook e8. If we play rook e8, then we need to think about king g7. But why not knight e8? We are getting a piece. It's a simple fork, knight c7 and knight f6, and if he takes and gives up the exchange, we take and we also get this c8 bishop. But I don't think that 45th will be so simple like knight e8 check. Knight e8, sorry. It's a simple knight fork. Is there a defense? Or anything better? There are some ideas like rook f3 and this pawn on f7. Here we are a rook down. Calculating the material, we have a rook less. So if we play rook f3, it might be a little bit slow because our attack is not yet developed. This bishop is passive for now. So rook f3, let's say he moves the queen to e6, and it's not enough, or is it? Knight f7, rook f8, knight h6, king g7. No, not sure. I guess it's just trying to trick us with rook f3. So we go knight e8 and Thank you for giving us a simple position. Yes. Yes, it is simple, but I was thinking why so simple on number 45? So rook h7, king g8. Or should we start with... No, the threat right now is queen h6. Maybe even sacrifice the queen after rook h7, or yes, even sacrifice the queen. Because black's bishop is quite strong in the center. And look at the pawns. I'm quite scared with white of these pawns on b2 and c3. So for example, if I play this move, queen g3, queen h6, rook h7, queen h7, bishop h7, king h7. It's difficult to win this position even if we have queen. So black is not scared to give up the queen, to sacrifice the queen in this position. So okay, let's think the first move. Rook h7, king g8, queen g3 check, king f8, there is queen d6 check, king g8, one moment, rook h7, king g8, queen g3, king f8, queen d6, king g8. First, let me show why. Rook h7, king g8, queen g3, king f8, queen d6, queen d6, king, oops, queen d6, king e8 does not work because of bishop a4 check. So he goes back to king g8. And after that, is there anything after that? Then rook g7, then if king h8, we are giving a lot of checks, but what is the idea of giving checks? First move queen g3, are you saying? The first move queen g3, then I was thinking queen h6, rook h7, queen h7, bishop h7, king h7. And it's quite complicated because next move black is threatening this check on e4. So yes, queen h6 will be played for that. And if we think about rook g6, there is rook h1. So what about we start with queen g1? So queen g1, idea is to play rook h7. Black plays queen h6. And now how about rook g6? The black king is in very much danger, but how to use that? How to use that? Because after rook g6, let's say queen h5. I want to get this rook on the first, on this h file. but it's not very easy to do that. If first move rook g6, then just move the queen, let's say f7. So which direction should we go? Starting with queen g3 or starting with rook h7? You need to choose one direction. One is to try to play queen g3 or queen g1, and the other is to start with rook h7, king g8, queen g3 check, and something later. Bharat is suggesting rook h7, king g8. Yes. After that, queen. Bharat, you can tell us the idea, what you're thinking after that. Rakesh, first move queen g3, queen h6, bishop h7. It's an interesting idea. Want to play rook g8 check. But what if I sacrifice the queen again? Queen h7, and then rook h7, king h7. Similar endgame we reach. Okay, so I think Bharat and chess are saying queen rook h7. So tell me after. King g8, queen g3, king f8, queen d6 check, king g8. If rook g7, king h8. So we reach the same position, but our queen is now on h6. For those of who are calculating, same position, but our queen is now on d6. We can bring that. Now after that, what we do? I think after that, rook g6, because idea is to play queen a5. Maybe queen g6, rook g6, rook g6. If f2, then rook f6, and it stopped. If queen g6, then bishop g6, and now the difference is that we have the bishop, and if f2, queen e5, king g8 and h7, and we make a queen. This looks the direction. Yes, right, chess. So this looks like the solution. Rook h7, king g8, queen g3, king f8, queen d6, king g8, rook g7, king h8. So we have brought the same position with queen on d6, and now we play rook g6 because we want to get control of this square on e5. Wow, this was very nice. I hope that's the solution. So let's not make a mistake. We had started with rook h7, queen g3, queen d6, rook g7, and now we have the extra bishop. Even if the sacrifice, we have a better chances. Yes, well done, people. Oh, look at this position. What is happening? We have 3 pieces. After king f8, rook g7. Yes, I think your idea was rook g8 check. But what after that? If I play, let's say, f2. Chess, do you mean my connection is slow or I should go slow? Now here we have three pieces. Black's last move was, what was Black's last move? D2. Idea is to promote. So in this position, I think our aim is to stop Black from promotion and control the pawns, and then we will have a winning game. We also have pawns, so we have enough winning material. We need to just stop the d2. Okay, it won't be that easy because the square is controlled. Some ideas start with knight e4 or bishop e4. We need to think, or it's a completely different direction. Try to trap this opponent king on a8. Now we need to choose a direction to stop this pawn or to try to mate the black king in some way. Let's think. Knight e4, then d1 queen. If bishop e4, I think black can even take this, right? d4, and we still cannot stop this queen. You're funny, chess. Yes, yes. We will be slow not to make a mistake. And I think the worst thing is when we have a mouse slip. That's very unfortunate. Okay, so let's think about this one. Knight e4, d1 queen. So now I think we cannot stop the queen. We need to find some way to trap the a8 king. Okay, Bharat, king c8, d1 queen. Yes, we have trapped the king, but how to form a pattern of mate? King c8, then d1. We have trapped the king, but what next? How to be able to create some threats on the king? Yes, chess, I will try to be more careful. But don't worry, we had discussed that variation for so long. It was 100% sure. So now, come on, people, we have to checkmate the Black King. Find a way. Make me happy. Still thinking something like knight a4 and d1 queen. But when I move the king to c file, he can give me check on c file also. Amit and Rakesh, they say bishop d4, d1 queen, then the thing is that after black promotes d1 queen, he instantly attacks our bishop on h1 and also gives us some check on the c file if we move the king to c7 and move the knight to d7 or a4. He can give us checks on c file. Yes, this I was thinking, knight e4, d1, knight c3, but he has this move, very irritating move, queen h1, and I don't know what to do after that. There has to be some trapping of the king. Okay, now I'm thinking again of knight a4. Let's think for a moment. Knight a4, d1 queen, king c7. If he gives us check, we can play. No, I think king c8. Oof, I'm not sure. Because even after bishop c3, if my king is on c7, there is queen f4 check. Amit, you're saying knight e4, d1 queen, knight g3. I'm not sure. Is it winning? It's not. I'm not sure about that because now we have no threats at all, and black will start checking and attacking our pieces. Varat is saying bishop d4, d1 queen, and then knight e6. This looks interesting. Now you have created some sort of mating threat, but king b7 and the king runs. Ash is saying king c8, knight c7 and bishop d4 is a good setup, but have to think exact moves. Yes, now we are coming to some pattern because of these suggestions like bishop d4 and knight a4 or knight d7 followed by king putting on one of these squares. Chess, where is stalemate? I don't see stalemate here because both sides have many pawns. So now we are getting some ideas: bishop on d4, king on c7 or c8, and knight on a4 or d7. Or king c8 and bishop d4 and knight e6, c7 or knight a6, c7. Bishop f3, then pawn capture f3. Yes, ef3, then Okay, this is a nice idea that you suggested, Rakesh. I'm also thinking bishop f3, ef3, because now when we promote, there will be no check on g4 square. Yes, so let's think about it a little bit. Bishop f3, ef3, now king c8, d1 queen, knight d4. If check on c1, then knight c7 followed by bishop d4. So what? The knight e6, idea is knight c7, but it's still not a mate. It's still not a mate, yes. We have another idea with bishop f3 to stop queen g4 check. Yes, let us all think. Knight e6, yes, d1 queen, king c8. Now what can black do? But I was thinking better we start with king c8 so that black king does not have the option of running to b7. So let's say bishop f3, ef3, and king c8, d1 queen, knight d7. Now we are stopping queen g4, that's why first move bishop f3. Now idea is knight b6 check. No, not this. Oof. Knight e6, I mean, sorry. I was confused. Knight e6. Now idea is knight c7 and bishop d4. So if he gives check, there is knight c7, king a7 and bishop d4. Otherwise, idea is just to play bishop d4. So once more, let's see. Bishop f3, ef3, king c8, d1 queen, knight e6. If he passes a move in some way, like a4, first we play bishop d4 and followed by knight c7, checkmate. So if he gives check, knight c7 check, king a7 and bishop d4 is mate. Yes, I think this is the solution. Shall we go? Shall we play these moves? Tell me to go and I will play. I so much want to play bishop f3, king c8, knight e6. Yes, Ash. So let's go, I think. Bishop f3 was a nice suggestion by Rakesh. Yes. Yes. Now we set king c8, not starting with knight e6 because king b7, and again we cannot stop the promotion and the king is free. So king c8. Now just a moment, let me think, because here we have knight a6 also. So what is wrong with knight a6? Yes, because we need knight e6 to support bishop d4. So we have to play knight e6. Now knight c7 check and bishop d4. Yes, well done. That was right. Oof. 47, green. Yes, slow. We got it. So we are on number 48 now. I like to see this all green color. Hate it when there is a red error. So last move. Rook c2. He takes the pawn. Now options are some check like queen b7. The threat is queen b2 check and mate. What happens if king c2? There has to be some mate. queen d3, king c1. Wait, let me see the mate first. If king c2, what is the mate? What is the mate after king c2? There has to be some mate, but how? One moment. Bishop f3, ef3, king c8, d1, knight e6. The queen has to stay on d file, and we will continue with bishop d5, knight c7. Yes, yes, correct. Go, go, go. Yes, come on. So first, before we start thinking about queen b7 or queen e8, these are the two checks that we have. I think these are the only possible options, or even queen a7. So our choices here are to start with check with queen a7, queen b7, queen e8, or first please find out the way what happens after king c2, because we need to find the checkmate first. What is our threat? What is the threat on us? So let's find the mate after king c2 first, and then we will start thinking about queen e8 or queen b7 or queen a7. So come on, find the mate after king c2. Black has queen c3, queen d3, bishop a4, bishop d3, so many checks. Okay, I think it's simple. Queen c3. So if we play king b1, there is bishop d3 checkmate. So king d1, and I don't see the mate instantly, but queen a1 with check, and this rook is also under attack, check, and many checks. I think this is the variation we have to avoid. It was fun solving with you. Yes, it is so much fun when we solve together. And we have good players in our chat who are giving such good suggestions. Okay, so I think we need to stop think about king c2, because queen c3, king d1, queen capture a1. And even though I don't find the mate instantly, this is not something we want. There is queen h1, there is queen b2 check, queen b2 check, and then king has to go to e3, queen e2, king f4, knight g6, and I don't know where it will go. King g5, queen c3, then he plays king d1. Queen c3, he plays king d1. That's what I'm saying. Queen capture a1 check, and it might be a long variation. Or if you find a better checkmate after king c2, please tell me if you find a checkmate after king c2. But I think it's not something to go for, because queen c3 and queen a1 is already too much. So now that we know queen b2 is a threat, so our choice is to one of these moves now. We need to think to give checks. So whenever there is a forced threat on us like this, queen b2, always try to find checks. I think these are all the checks, good ones of course. So queen e8, queen b7, and queen a7. Now let's start. So let's start, as Amit is saying, let's start with queen e8. Queen e8 now, king c7 and king d6. There is king c7 and king d6. Yes, there is bishop f4 ideas. So queen e8. Let's go first king d6. There is also queen d8 check. There is also queen e7 check. So bishop f4. Sorry. Bishop f4, e5, and bishop e5 is mate. So queen e8 and king c7. Okay, so queen e8, he has to play king c7. Now again bishop f4 check. Now there are some moves. King b7 and king b6. For both, I think queen b8 is our choice. So let's say king b7. Queen b8 will be mate because king c6, queen c7 is mate. So queen e8, king c7, bishop f4, king b6. I think he will try to run on a5. Yes, he will try to run on a5. So now this is our direction. Queen e8, king c7, bishop f4, king b6, trying to run to a5 and a4. So what about queen d8? Because if we play queen b8, he will play king a5, bishop c7, king a4. And it's very unpleasant if he reaches this square, because now we cannot give any more checks when he reaches. So when he plays king b6, I think we have to go queen d8 so as to stop the king going to a5. And then when the king moves back to b7, then we can play queen b8, king c6, and queen c7. Right? Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Let me quickly check why this is not right. If this, I think just rook c7 and no more checks. No more checks. So yes, so let's play queen e8. Okay, bishop f4, e5. So we have to play bishop e5, right? Not queen e5, because again king b6, and you cannot stop the king from running to a4. So that is his defense. King b6, and we set queen d8 here because queen b8, king a5. So queen d8. Now queen b8 check, king c6, and king c7, queen c7 mate. Yes, well done, well done. Well done everybody who suggested this queen e8, bishop f4. I think it was Bharat. Well done. And everybody, I hope I did not miss the chat. Okay, so now we are on number 49. So what is happening? Last move is bishop capture e2 and black takes the knight. So we are a piece down here. When I look at the position, first thing I like to see is the material, because sometimes when we have less material, we even have to go for a draw. So we spend a lot of time on thinking how to win, but sometimes it can also be to find a draw when we are material down. So now here there is first check, queen f6, king g8, knight h6, king f8, queen h8, king e5, knight f5, king e7. One moment. Then queen d8 check. So first let's see, queen f6, king g8. Now we have two checks first of all here. There is also knight e7, which I like. I like this idea, knight e7, king f8, and knight d5. The idea is to play queen h8 check, and we are attacking the queen. Yes, Dilip. We are thinking about Queen f6, King g8, and now here are two checks, Knight at 6 and Knight e7. I am I am liking the idea Knight e7, King f8, and Knight d5 with the threat Queen h8. Is there a defense for that? Queen f6 because Knight at 6 I don't see any line after that. Yeah, King f8, sorry, King f8, Queen h8, it's a long line again, Knight f5, King d7. But what after that? Not sure. If there is no defense against this, we can go for it. Knight e7, King f8, and Knight d5. Yes, yes. King f8 and Knight d5. Let's think for a moment if there is a defense or we go for it. No, I don't think. So we can go. Yes, let's go. Hello, Rishabh. Queen f6. I almost played Knight h6, so yes, I will go slow. Knight e7. Okay, thank you for the queen and the point. Alright, this is 50th one. Come on. We have to make 50 green. Okay, finally a position where the material is equal. Now, this is pinned, but this is under attack. So I'm thinking what's going on for g4. Yes, well done. Everybody solved the last one. That was very nice. Knight e7 and knight e5 idea. Everybody got it right, so well done. So now here, this knight is under attack. This is pinned. I'm thinking what happens for g4. g4, queen g5. Of course, black has to keep supporting this pawn. h4. Oh yes, I think this is the solution. g4, queen g5, h4, queen h4, rook h1, queen g5, knight f6, queen f6, rook h7, king h7, queen f6. We get the queen and also followed by checkmate on rook h1 and rook h8 next. Okay, let's see it again. So first move is g4. We are attacking this knight, so black has to keep control of this. So he plays queen g5. h4, we are attacking the queen. Again, black is forced to take the pawn, queen h4. Rook h1. His only move is queen g5. Knight capture f6. Queen f6, and this idea rook capture h7 check, right? There's a lag with chat. Yes, I understand. Yes. It will be a little delay for me. But okay, now we are already on difficult position. We are going slow. So we will work with it. Okay, so I'm going for g4 now. Oh no, what happened? What happened? What happened? that was the solution. Oh no. I think the right move was after Queen g5 to first play Rook h7, King h7, Knight f6. Oh no, I can't believe that I made that mistake. So funny, I make mistake on 50. So sad. The answer was after Queen g5, Rook h7 check, um, Rook h7, King h7. I'm not sure, even after Rook h7, King f8. King f8. No. Because what we missed was that black had Rook d2. Black had Rook d2. Yes, but I thought we had the solution after Knight f6, Queen f6, and King Rook h7. But he had Rook d2 check, which we miss. All right, no problem. Yes, I missed half century. But okay, we still have 2 more chances. Something has to go wrong. Yes, Rook d2 check there. But I'm still not sure what was the solution after Queen g5. Maybe Rook h7, King Rook h7, King f8, and what after that? I'm not sure what we missed. So let's try to concentrate more. New position now. I'm still feeling very bad about it. Okay, let's see the new one. We are doing so well already, so let's not get disappointed by one wrong. So what was the move? Bishop b5. Yes, even last time when I was making a video on Puzzle Rush, I made 49 green, and on 50th I made an error. So I don't know what happens to me. I'm too excited when I'm on 50. Yes. Sorry, but I don't know the solution. After Queen g5, Rook h7, and King f8. What happens after King f8? Rook h8. Then if King e7 or King g7, let's say. Don't tell me it's a draw. Rook h7, Rook h8. Hello CK, have you lived or studied abroad? Your accent doesn't sound Indian. No, I have not studied or lived. I just play tournaments outside India. But this is my accent. I know a lot of people are asking me about it. Alright, so here, last move was bishop b5. Now let's clear our mind and be more focused. This is very important thing if we are chess players, because many times when we are playing games in tournaments, it happens that we make a mistake. We have a good position and we have everything under control, and we make a mistake, and we have in this mind going on, what did I do, what did I do, and it's hard to come back from this. And this is some lesson that we have to learn from ourselves, that even if we make a mistake, we have to try to keep our strength, keep our nerves. It is very important for chess players. Otherwise, if we just react to it, we will not be able to progress. So even after we do something wrong, and we are all humans, it happens to all of us. So we made a mistake and we will keep making mistakes. But what we have to improve is that even after we do, we need to be able to come back from it. Okay, so what are the moves suggested here? Dilip suggests rook c8. Okay. Yes, chess. If you have a good move, see better one. This was a quote from the great former world champion Emmanuel Lasker. CK. That is very funny. I sound like Anish Giri. Good one. Okay, we have some move suggestions. So Dilip has suggested rook c8 and Rakesh has suggested rook b4. So let's dive in the position now. So first of all, our rook is under attack, and if we make a rook move, we can attack this. What is the material? Four pieces. Okay, pawn down, so it's okay. So if rook c8, I will take rook c8, bishop b5. Let's say I play king f8, and we have sacrificed the exchange, but do we have compensation for it? I don't think so. We have enough compensation for the rook. Another move that was suggested was rook capture b4. This looks interesting. Now black has some options. Bishop d3 or knight b4. I think knight b4 is just we take the bishop, and we have already 2 pieces for the rook, which is enough. So after rook b4, black will try to play bishop d3. Now queen d3, knight b4, queen b5 check, and take the knight on d4. So that looks like the correct way to go. Rook b4. What else does black have here? Just bishop d3, right? Because knight b4, just take bishop b5 check, and we have already 2 pieces. So rook b4. Ash is suggesting rook b4. Yes, the same that we are just talking about. Bishop d3, queen d3, knight b4, and queen b5. And in this position, we get 2 pieces for the rook. But the big thing is that we give him check, and he has to play move like king f8 or some king move, and we have a huge compensation, not just 2 pieces, but because of the position of the king, we can have, wait, I think rook b3, bishop d3, queen d3, knight here, queen b5, he has to play like queen d7, and then we play take bishop or knight. queen b4. Yes, yes, we need nerves of steel to play tournaments, especially if we want to play good. Okay, so shall we go with rook b4? Let's go. Now here, one moment. This is very tricky now. Queen d7 he just played. And now we have choice to take this, and take this. First of all, queen b4 I think is a mistake because bishop a5. And you see this, no, it's not really. We can play queen b2 and then bishop d2, then knight d2. So which piece to take now? Queen, the bishop, or the knight? Very careful now. We can easily make a mistake if uh, we, if we are not careful. So take bishop or knight or queen. Yes, chess. I'm very slow. I'm not moving the mouse at all until I'm 100% sure. Now, what is the difference in taking the pieces? Queen, we can take the queen, but I'm not sure because he will take and we take the knight. It's an end game and it's not so much, it does not matter much that now black's king is not castled. If we want to keep the king in the center, we need to keep the queens also. So I want to keep the queens because this bishop can be very powerful in stopping the castling. And I'm thinking now which to take, bishop or knight. Queen b4 if bishop a5, queen b2. Or if queen b6, then he has knight d5. But I like both. I like both. Oh, okay, and now I see the difference. Okay, okay. Queen b6, he has knight c2. So not take the bishop. Knight c2, fork, a simple fork. And we have to give back some material. So now our options are queen takes knight and queen takes queen. I like queen takes knight. I like queen takes knight. Shall we go queen takes knight? Okay. Okay, confirm. I should take the knight. Queen takes knight. Because I don't want to go wrong. Yes. Queen b4, bishop a5, then queen b2. Let me also think, because he may also have queen b4, bishop a5, queen b2, and some ideas with long castle. No, bishop d6. Keep it simple and take queen, but are we sure about this endgame that we are reaching? I'm trying to keep the queens because the king remains in the center on e8. If I take queen b4, then king remains on center on e8. And we can have some pressure on the king. Queen d7, king d7, bishop b4. We have two pieces for the rook. But now black's rook can also start activate with rook hc8. We have some opposing views here about taking the knight and queen. Okay, I will take queen b4 now. Yes, queen b4 was the right answer. Good job. Good job. It was very important for us to make a green again after one red. So now we have an endgame. We have two knights. Again, a position where we cannot stop the promotion, but we need to find a way to trap the king somehow. CK, what do you do in such situation in rapid or blitz game? In rapid or blitz game, I think if that position, I would just take the knight, because in such games where there is less time, we have to try to keep some pressure on the opponent. So if we exchange queens, it is much easier for the opponent to play that endgame, to play rook hc8, and it's easier to play because no more threats on the king. So in shorter games, of course, we need to keep some attack, and without calculating, we have to take queen capture b4. Yes, a big applause for the right answer. start knight endgame. Okay, here I will take a break for 5 minutes and we are going to continue solving the position. Okay, so a very short break for 5 minutes and we will continue with these positions and until we can solve. So be right back. We are back. Okay, so we have reached number 50, and our next position is an endgame where black's last move was pawn to d2. We have two knights here, but right now the black's threat is d1 queen. This can be tricky, like you remember how we solved the last one where we had three minor pieces and black was also trying to promote again on d1, but we found a way to create a mating pattern. So this time we have two pieces and both are knights. So now we have options, knight b5, then d1 queen. So that is the move. I was thinking about something like d6 because he cannot take with king, knight b5 check. So he has to take with pawn, and we block this d6 square if we want to try some mating ideas. Knight f6, interesting. So knight f6, what about, okay, I have two ways. I think your idea is king f6, then d6. But if I queen, somehow I have a feeling about d6, but here at this point we cannot play on emotions. We need to find calculations. Okay, so Ash is saying knight f6. If d1 queen, knight g4. If king moves to d4, knight e6, king c, no, not king c4, king e4, I think. But for knight f6, we also need to think about king f6 and ef6. I was thinking I will take the knight if king f6 or ef6. Okay, so first move d6. He has to play e d6. What if he makes a queen? So d6, d1 queen. Then we capture on e7, and our king is in a no check position because the square is controlled. And next move we are promoting. So he will take the knight, we promote, and we have a winning endgame. So of course for d6 he has to play e d6. Now okay, let me think a little bit. If knight f6, king f6, then d6. Okay, that looks interesting. Knight f6. What about I take with the pawn? Then so for knight f6, we found for king f6, but we need to think about ef6 or even queen. Then also d6. Okay, so we now need to think about two ways to begin, knight f6 or d6. So let's calculate. Okay, let's calculate. So we have two directions that we are thinking about, knight f6 and d6. d6, e6, then knight f6, now d1 queen, now maybe knight g4, he has to play king d4, now we have knight e6 or knight b5. Yes, I like knight b5 check. And now, where will the king go? King c5. Okay, d6, e6, knight f6, d1 queen, knight g4. He has to play d4 forced move. Now we have choice, knight e6 and knight b5. I think knight e6 to control the c5 square. Knight e6 check. And where will the king go? Because the king falls into a knight fork in either one of these knights. If I'm not wrong, yes? So now the difference is that if we start with first move knight f6, then what's happening? King d5, then there is knight e3. So what is difference between first move d6 or first move knight f6? If we start with first move knight f6. So d1 queen, knight g4. So king d4 is only move. Oh, now difference is that knight e6 check. No, I don't. So what's the difference between d6 and knight f6? Hello, 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 Badur. It's great to have you here. Yes, yes, so nice to see you. We have a super grandmaster in our chat right now. Welcome. How is your streaming going on? He is regularly streaming on Twitch on the name James Blunder. Do check it out. Yes, we have a super player here. So far we have reached 50 and we are thinking about this position now. I see, you're discussing opening traps. Yes, yes, very. You have very interesting streams on Twitch. So much to learn from you. This is my first stream today, and with people we are solving right now. And so far we are doing very well. We have some great players in the stream who are suggesting moves. He is here and already he told us line d6 ed knight f6. Yes, we are thinking about two moves right now. So we have been long discussing about, we saw this move d6, but we are not sure what is wrong with first move knight f6. That is what we are trying to understand. So we saw d6, but as Ash suggested, first move knight f6 and knight g4. So we are trying to understand what is the difference between these two moves. Hello Kavita, welcome to the stream. Because king d6 retreats. So what if knight f6, d1 queen, then knight g4 check. Oh, I understand now what you're saying. So knight f6? No, I don't understand still. Why not knight f6? That is the question we are trying to understand. Just go d6. Yes, yes. Okay, we will go d6. Now here knight e6 because we want to control c5. Yes, that's done. Well done. Of course, when we have help from one of the greatest players in the world, we are on fire. So last move was rook c7. So the queen is under attack right now. Okay, thank you for joining us and all the best for your stream. Thank you. And everybody do check out his streaming channel. His username is James Blunter, and we will see you. Alright, so let's continue. Last move was rook c7, attacking the queen. Now we cannot move the queen, but we have moves like bishop d7 or rook d7. This knight is under attack, but we can't do about it right now. Yes, Harry. So what if... Yes, yes. Maybe one of the streams I will try to invite him. Let's see if he can join us. That would be very fun if he accepts to join our stream, yes? Okay, so rook h6, rook g7, rook h2 check, queen h2, king g7, queen h7. Not enough. What to do? The queen is under attack. We are a pawn up here, but somehow moves like bishop d7 or rook d7 seem passive, but maybe we have to play them. Any ideas in this position? We do need some ideas here. What is the first move? d2. Hello Akshay. We are solving Puzzle Rush Survival here right now, and so far we have reached 51 and we are a little bit stuck on this one. So I see moves like d2, but what happens for d2? Knight d2, then rook h6, rook g7. Now this doesn't look okay. Nice, I thought I'm watching this on Twitch. Yes, I think as you and many others suggested me, it's a good idea to be on YouTube, right? Thank you. I like this layout. Alright, so I'm thinking d2 now. If queen takes d2, we have queen g6, and that looks okay. Now white has two options, knight takes d2 and rook takes g7. So if rook takes g7, d1 queen, and what happens? We have to be very careful because now the rook will move and there are threats like g7, very complicated position. Even, yes, I think like move like rook b7, and we have to be careful what to do. As much as I don't like it, bd7 looks like the move. Yes, yes. It's, even I don't want to play move like bishop d7. But yes, you may be right because there isn't much that we can do. Rook d7, rook c8 check is coming, and even d2 he can just play rook g7, d1 queen, and rook b7 with the idea of g7. So if we try to be aggressive, it's not helping us. Even rook h6, then rook g7. If queen at 6, then I think just g7 check and takes the rook on h8. So let's think about this for a moment. Bishop d6, and now our idea is that this knight is under attack. So rook h6 is the threat. And let's say if he plays knight f7, then we can exchange rooks. Rook h2. But is it okay? Is it enough? Bishop d7. Let's say knight f7. Or even knight f5. Knight f5. And now rook h2, knight h2. Maybe now d2. But what else if not bishop d7? What are our options? d2 does not work, rook d7 does not work, queen at 6 and rook h6 also not enough. So by that idea, by that logic, I think we have to go bishop d7. So let's go for it. Bishop d7. What do you say? I'm thinking let's go bishop d7. If you have any better move, just tell me, or else we are just going bishop d7. Okay, if it's wrong, then we can't do much. So I will go bishop d7. No, 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 no. No. Alright, next one. What to do? We tried. Not yet, let's calculate. Yes, I got your message, but too late. Okay, so now we have one more error, and if we make a mistake, then we will stop the stream. So let's play as long as we can find the correct moves. So what was last move? Last move was king capture h4. What's about material imbalance advantage? Maybe that might have been the solution, chess. Because bishop d7 is not correct, so I guess it was rook h6, rook g7, and now either not rook h2, queen h2. So we will play king g7 and rook h6, king h6, but I don't like that position. So I can't say I have the solution for that. So last move was king h4. Now the threat is queen capture e4 check. That's the threat. Hello, Abhishek. Okay, so we have this position, king h4. It takes a minute to show our comments. On Twitch, it is instant. Yes. Maybe we can try both YouTube and Twitch. So for now, this is our first stream, and almost everybody voted for YouTube. So here we are. Threat is queen capture e4. So I'm thinking knight f6. So the moves that I see are knight f6 check or rook h8 check. Let's think about knight f6. So knight f6, we are supporting e4 and we are supporting the rook and attacking the queen right now. So the queen has two squares, b7 or c6. Let's say queen to c6. And now we have rook g4 or rook h8. If rook h8, king g5, then rook h5. Can't take the knight because of rook h6. So there is king g6, king g6. And we also need to think about queen b7 after knight f6. So we have two moves so far, rook h8 and knight f6 to think about. I think these are the only moves in this position if we want to protect the c4 pawn. So knight f6 or rook h8. I have an interesting idea, like rook h8. If plays king g4, there is some idea like knight d6, with the idea if queen takes rook, the knight Sorry, if king g5, I mean. If rook h8, king g5, there is move like knight d6 with the idea of fork. So this is something. So rook h8. Now we have to think about king g5 and king g4. Why don't I have a Discord server? I am just starting right now, so this is my first live stream. So yes, I have to learn about these things. If I'm planning to stream regularly, maybe I will do it. So rook h8 and knight f6. Concentrate now. So rook h8, he can't play king g4 because of knight f6 discovered check, so has to play king g5. Now here we have some moves like h4 or even knight d6. I find knight d6 interesting because queen capture rook, then knight f7 is check. So what else? So queen c6 is the move after knight d6, and now what? Oh, now knight f7 check. Yes, knight f7 check. Or h4, just a moment. Yes, knight f7 check. And where will the king go? King can't go to g4, knight e5. So king has to go to f4. Rook h4 check. Yes, this looks like the solution. What do you think? What do you think? So rook h8, king g5, knight d6, queen c6. Now knight f7 check. And followed by rook h6. Followed by rook h6 check. Shall we go for it? I know now that chess will say, go slow, stop. Okay, so let's hope for it. Rook h8. Now knight d6, queen c6, then knight f7 and rook h6. Yes, we are right. Well done. Oof. Knight f5. Yes, always. Yes. We should call it No Rush in Puzzle Rush. That's the title we should have. Because it says Puzzle Rush, but we have to go slow or else we can't do it. Alright, so last move, knight capture f5, takes the pawn. So we have some checks on the g file, queen g2 and king g1. Queen g2 and rook g1 check. what else? What else do we have? Some ideas like knight g5, e6, some weak squares. I was thinking about ideas like queen g2 and followed by queen g5, trying to pin this knight and also attack the f5 knight. So let's think, queen g2 check. So if he moves anywhere on anywhere h8, h6 or f8, we play queen g5, and that's very good. So he will play king to f7, and now we have to think. Queen g2, king f7, queen h3 is a suggestion. So queen h3, idea is we are attacking this knight. So there are a few moves. So first, what if knight e3? Then I think d6 is too big. We take on d6. So after queen h3, black will try to play queen d7. So queen h3, queen d7. And take on d6 by knight. I think, let's say knight d6, knight d6, queen d7, knight d7, and knight d6, knight fork. Yes, this looks like it. Yes, Dilip is right. So queen g2, king f7, queen h3, queen d7, then we take on d6 by this knight, because I want to take on this knight because this knight is under attack. What if queen g2, king f7, and queen g5? Queen g5, then now this knight is under attack. So we have to think between queen h3 and queen g5. So queen g5, what is the defense? So let's play first move, I think, because yes. Okay, he played king h8. Now again we have to think, queen h3 or queen g5. Queen h3 or queen g5. Both moves look very good, but one has to be wrong. One is wrong. One is wrong. Which one? Queen g2, queen g5, but knight e3 also comes. Okay, so queen g5, knight e3, knight e3. And now if we take on f6, then knight e1. So that means queen h3 is the move. That has to mean h3, right? queen h3, because now the knight is pinned, and now knight e3 is no more an option because queen capture rook with a check. So that will be check. So queen h3, and if he plays queen d7, then knight capture knight. If he takes this knight, we have this knight. So queen h3, yes, yes. And I think now we simply take the knight, and if he takes knight e4, then we take queen e4. Yes, well done, well done. So who suggested first queen g2 and queen h3? Who was it? Just remind me. Queen, capture, queen. Chess, you're funny. I think it's very helpful that you tell us to slow down. You should come to stream and just tell me to slow down. It will save many points. Okay, well done on the last position. Now here black just takes the queen on f7. So the choices are rook c6 with the idea of knight e5 check. There is bishop f4 check. And I think these are our choices. Rook c6, yes, as we see in the chat. These are our two choices. So rook c6, king c6, knight e5, king b6, knight f7. And here we are in exchange down. So before, let's try bishop f4. Bishop f4. Now e5 is the only move. Bishop f4, e5 is the only move. Now what about de5? de5? Oh, so this is the defense. de5, then he wants to go king c7. Then we play e6 check, king b6. Take this queen. So one moment. Bishop f4, e5. Now de5, the defense is king to c7. Oh, just we can take with the bishop. One moment. Bishop f4, e5. Bishop e5. Knight e5, pawn e5, king e6, and rook c6. Bishop d6, rook d6. Isn't it mate? Isn't it mate? Bishop f4. I don't see any other move because the knights are stopping black, so e5 is the only move. And now bishop capture e5. So there is no defense. It looks quite easy. Why is it easy? Why is it so easy after on position number 54? I feel very suspicious when the positions are easy. Okay, so bishop f4. We have to go bishop f4. Now we know that DE is wrong because of king c7. So bishop e5 is the only move, and it is going to be made soon. Yes, yes, well done. Because we got two wrong, it is going easy. Instead of being happy, I feel suspicious when we get an easy one after 50. How to crack a joke in English? Alright, so rook c4. You can crack joke in English, Hindi, Marathi. I will understand. Yes, doesn't matter which language. If you have a joke, share with us. Okay, so rook c4. Ash suggested rook c8. We have, I think, this rook, because other rook it will take with check. Hello, being brilliant at chess. Welcome back. So rook c8 idea is that if rook takes queen, we have rook c1. It's a mate. So rook c8 is a good suggestion by Ash, yes. I like this rook because this rook it will take with check, and then we'll get some time to defend, right? Somehow the back rank checks, like let's say, I don't know how, how to defend, because rook d1 is followed by queen d4 check, so it's not a defense. So if rook c8, which rook to c8? That's also an important question. If rook c8, which one? I don't think it matters, but if we make the wrong move, it will be over. In these puzzles, we need to have only one solution. We can't take the risk. Can't take the risk at the third error. So the defense is that rook c8, I think defense is to play rook d4. So that is supposed to be the defense, right? Rook c8, then rook d4. What about queen c4? Queen c4, bishop c4, bishop d5, bishop d5, and now a rook c8 or rook d8. Rook c8 with the idea of checkmate on c1, but queen e3. Or if rook d8, then bishop b3. So what about bishop d5 first? Rook b4, bishop takes d5. Okay, not sure about it. bd5 first, bd5, rook b4, then rook b4, bishop d5. So looks like a theme of back rank somehow. Looks like a theme of back rank. So bishop d5, rook b4, bishop d5. And the thing is that he retreats the bishop back to b3. So if we try rook b8, the bishop again goes back to b3 and there is no mate. So now we know the white's moves. So if we play rook c8, rook d4 is the defense. If we play bishop d5, rook b4 and bishop takes and goes back to b3. So far that's the defense. If we take queen c4 again, takes and bishop takes and goes back to b3. Hello Rain. Rain is suggesting rook b c8, rook d4 and bishop a6. That looks quite interesting to me. Yes, that looks good move. Bishop a6 because now we have the threat rook c1. Rook c1, it's a threat, and bishop a6, good move. Now the question is which rook to c8. I don't like this because there can be some defense after this. There has to be something. Yes, I think king b1 is the defense. Wow, king b1. Look at this. White stops rook c1. And if queen here, then there can be queen d3. Queen d3. King c1, king b1 is a very solid defense. Very critical. Okay, so shall we go for rook b c8 and bishop a6? Rain made a solid entry in chat with a good move on position number 54. Yes, so I think let's go for rook b c8 and bishop a6. Okay, let's go. Queen f4, I was just thinking about this. Now we have to think if queen e1 or first take on rook c4. Or we just take on c4 and then followed by take on d5. If we play queen e1, rook d1, and now the queen is under attack and all the threats are defended. So why not rook c4? And if take with queen c4, which is the only move, we take, we exchange, and then we take this rook. Let's be greedy and take the material, right? Let's be greedy. Rook c4 and take on d5. Now not check on e1 because again rook d1. The queen is under attack, so we exchange. And yes, yes, well done, well done. Good job. Okay, come on. Now knight f4. 5 pawns each side, so material is equal. I think again this will be something on back rank. Again back rank theme. Or trapping off this knight some way. So this pawn is attacked. Move slow, slow, yes. So bishop d4, c d4 and c3 is also a critical line. He will take knight d3. Knight d3. रेन आपने good move की रेन कर दी. Yes. Now the idea is knight d3 and knight d5. So these are the moves. I also want to put rook e8 when I get a chance. But rook e8, when to do it? I think rook e8 then g3 somewhere. Bishop d4, c d4, g5. This is a nice move. g5. Now if he takes, take. And now rook a1, rook e8, king g1, d2, king f2. Somewhere I want to play rook e8 because of this, to take an tempo. But do it first move like this here, or first take bishop d4, c d4, and then play rook e8. Takes, and then rook e8. Now there is checkmate. He can play knight d3, c d3, rook a1, d2. That is winning, so g3 has to be played. So g3, now g5, if knight d3, cd, king g2, d2, rook a1, rook e1. That seems interesting, to insert this move rook e8 in between. What if we do it on first move? Okay, so he has to play rook a1. And no more c3. So even after bishop d4, cd, if we play rook e1, I think the defense is to play rook a1. And now there is no more threat of c3. I see. So So if you play rook e8, rook a1, and no more threat of c3. Okay, Akshay, I will try to keep it in mind. So, what to do? I wanted to play rook e8, but now it seems rook a1, and I'm not so sure. So Ash says bishop d4. Oops. Bishop d4, cd4, g5, knight d3, cd3, rook a1, d2. So king g1. If rook e8, then king f2, and just in time, white stops the e1 square from queening. Okay, I have to stop the stream in 5-10 minutes. So let's try to solve this until then, this position at least. What about other moves like bishop e5? But knight d3 again, cd3, rook a1. Same thing. I think rook e8, then rook a1 is only move, and no more threat. If we play first move g5, then there is also rook f6. So what about discord? Yes, I will definitely think about it. Let me just get used to streaming. This is my first stream, so. Right. instead of rook e8, rook c8. So when, I think you mean after bishop d4, cd and rook c8. But now white, I think, will play rook a1 and try to keep the rook on the first rank. Even if we start with first rook, white's defense is rook a1, and then white is not obliged to take on d3. Oh, okay. So first move, bishop d4, cd4, g5, knight d3. I think here cd3, rook a1. Yes, rook c8. I completely missed this move. That c file is open. And rook c8 or d2, yes, both might be winning. I did not see rook on c file. Yes, you are right. You are right. So first move is bishop d4, cd4, and now g5. If knight d5, then c3. So knight takes d3, c takes d3, and rook a1. And all this time I was thinking about rook e8, but I think both d2 and rook c8 might be winning. So rook c8, king g1, and d2. Let's go for it. So first move, bishop d4, cd4, now g5, and we take. And now here d2, rook a1, and rook c8, king f2, then rook c1. Oof, that was very good. Well done, Ash. You got the answer for us. So starting from the beginning, you found this idea of g5, and later this move that we were missing, rook c8. So well done for the solution. Alright, so I think for today it's time for us to stop here. We have been live for almost 3 hours. I did not expect that. And you have been quite good today in sharing your ideas and some amazing solutions you found to these positions. And it was great to have you all and to talk with you and discuss chess with you. It's fun to have people together to play chess and even to learn chess. So for today, let us stop here. Still feels like, yeah, less. Yeah, it looks like you are a real chess, passionate chess player. Not enough, even if we look at chess all day. But I will stream more. So this was first time. So we will do some more streams and you can join and we can have some more discussions like this. It was a great time today. So we will join again and I will let you know when I will be live next. So see you next time with some more chess fun and some more good chess streaming. So thank you, have a good night and see you next time.